Here is a short wellness snack from a recent Well Wave Now conversation. One insight you can apply to your health.
In the subconscious mind. And I'm sure your audience, having been on this program, knows that we operate daily mostly using 5% of our mind, right? The conscious mind. But 95% of the time, what's running the show is the subconscious mind. But it's about how do we reprogram that 5% of the conscious mind with the subconscious mind. And so I'm usually also providing some additional tools for people to be able to shift what's going on subconsciously, because that's where all of our emotions are stored. That's where the thoughts are stored, the beliefs. And it's in that subconscious area. So you may not even realize, right? A lot of people will come to me and they're like, I went through therapy. I dealt with my divorce. I don't understand why it's showing up again. And I said, because you're still holding that trauma. Your brain, you think you've processed it. But that's where we do all that calculating, strategizing, figuring, and it is infinitely more powerful and strong in the heart. And that's because that's the emotions, right? That's where our emotional body begins, is in the heart space.
So, Christine,
So powerful.
do you ever work with someone who just wants to hold on to that pain or that anguish? I mean, I meet people all the time that like to waller. Do you
Mm.
just say, "Okay, come back to me when you're ready to get rid of this"? I mean, what do you do with that person that just likes to be miserable?
Most people when they come to me are looking for a change. They're looking for a shift, a transformation. They're open to changing and shifting. Have I worked with people where it's taken a longer period of time to get them to shift because they had so much trauma going on and so many different layers in their lives? Yes, I had a nurse that I actually worked with who was out of work. She had shingles, debilitating shingles. We had to work over several months worth of time to get her finally to a place where she was ready to release all of what was holding her back. It wasn't just one thing, it was multiple things. From, a divorce, it was also a difficult job. It was also layer upon layer of trauma from childhood and things. And so sometimes people are in such a dark hole, it takes a little longer to get them to a place where they can function. Now, I can say, after having worked with her for quite some time, the shingles subsided. She's, back to work. She's in a healthy new relationship. All kinds of things shifted and pivoted, but she had to be in a place where she was ready. And some people, it takes a little bit longer because all of our lives are different. And we've all lived through various levels of trauma, emotional challenges. And that's really what the charges are. It's this emotion that's stuck somewhere.